a bit of an introduction. My name is Charis. I've been in the social media industry for, I think, more than 10 years now. I started with blogging first when I was maybe 18, but maybe even younger than that, because I started like coding and everything when I was like 12. So I really enjoyed it. And that one thing led to another, as you can see, until today. I'm still in the same industry for the longest time. But right now, I am focusing on my clothing brand. It's called Nico and Claire. I've done singing, I create content, I do YouTube videos. Basically, the things that your parents don't want you to be. I always tell people that. But yeah, that's a bit about me. And today I'll be, oh wait, I'm supposed to share my screen. Yes, I am supposed to share my screen. Wait, everybody. All right. I'm too, I am too excited. All right, play. Okay, well, we passed that already, the first slide. So this is my bio, sort of, yeah. And I think just now, June already introduced me as well. So you can find me on Instagram. And so, what is the truth about social media? Not everything is real. One thing is, not everything is real. And just like today's talk. So honestly, I'm not here to uncover any truths with you guys. This is a clickbait. Now that you're all here, I am actually here to just simply share my experience as someone who has been in the social media industry for more than a decade now. Now that that is out of the way, but back to my point again, not everything you see in social media is 100% authentic, like it or not. So social media is very, very curated, and I'm sure you guys know. And out of 1,000 photos that were taken, maybe 5 gets uploaded, and I am guilty for that. And the best moments are picked, and even raw moments are edited, and vlogs can even be dramatized, which is why I will always tell myself that we should never ever compare, because I think this is a huge problem with today's social media users. I think once you start comparing, it will lead to a lot of self-doubt. It will lead to depression, things like that. And it is a real matter, actually. It is a real problem. And I feel comparison is the thief of joy. So once you start envying someone's achievements, once you start envying other people's belongings, the things that they put up on social media, you tend to feel very very small about yourself, basically. And that's not the right way to use social media. I mean, social media is a great tool for sharing, and like the posting that was uploaded the other day, like that cartoon strip on After Seven's Facebook. Social media is a double-edged sword. So it is a great tool for sharing, but when it is not used correctly and it is consuming you, that is when you know that is bad for you and your mental health. So what we can do is to just check our hearts and be secure. And although it's hard, it's definitely easier said than done, but always take a step back. If this is what you want to pursue in the long run, you should not compare, and always be grateful with your own achievements and your own blessings instead. For me, although I've been doing this for a very long time, I still struggle with it, to be very, very honest. Every day, whenever I scroll or whenever I'm trying to think of the next best idea for my projects, I still have to take a step back and remind myself to never ever compare. So when you start comparing, that is when things will go downhill. And I remind myself to stay on my own lane and always focus on my own personal growth and also grow at my own pace. It doesn't matter if someone has 10 times followers than me, or they drive a better car, or they live in a bigger house. So I just tell myself, like, look, Charis, you have a home, you have a stable career, you have a loving husband, a great family and friends. That's what I'm supposed to focus on. And I think that gives me the peace. And the next thing about social media, wait, there. I don't know if people ever told you that it takes a lot of hard work. It looks easy, right? Sometimes it's like, oh, she just stepped out of the coffee shop, and she's holding uh coffee in her hand, and that's her OOTD. But like I said, it's hard work, just like any jobs out there. Creating content and building an online presence has its own set of challenges, and you'll never know. Like, maybe that person took days to plan the outfit, or um, days to look for this cafe. You'll never know what is going on inside other people's lives, and especially for content creators out there. I I am one myself, so these challenges are real, and this applies for your own personal branding, and also maybe if you're a social media manager for a company, it applies for your company's branding too. But what I learned is to always show up for social media if you are going to take it seriously, or if you're looking to grow your online presence. Showing up is very, very important, because algorithm is like your frenemy. As, have you guys heard of this word, frenemy? So when you show up, they love it. The algorithm would show your content, and when you get people to engage, the algorithm will love you. But when you stay quiet for maybe a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, that's when it will not show your content as much as people who are consistent in the game. So consistency has always been key during my 10 years of creating content. I started on YouTube, Tumblr, and then I went to YouTube, and I've always been showing up. And I remember growing exponentially at one point when I was consistently posting on YouTube. I was collaborating. It is hard work, but for me, the trick is to always find the joy in doing this. And I personally do it because I love creating, and I love putting stuff online and entertaining people. And I just happened to eventually make a career out of it. It wasn't planned for, to be honest. When I was in uni, when I was doing my internship, I remember just blogging to earn a side income instead of just living off my parents' allowance. Um, but right after I started my internship, I stopped taking money from them, and then just one thing led to another, that I felt like this was what I was meant to do. So there were times I'm like, maybe I should start looking for a 9 to 5 job, like fresh out of uni. But opportunities came, and they were enough to sustain me until today. And I'm very, very thankful for it. So if you enjoy social media, if you um, you enjoy creating content for it, go for it. Don't be scared. Always just take that first step. If you don't enjoy it, also maybe give it a chance. But if you seriously don't like it, then don't force it. I wouldn't recommend anybody to force themselves to do something that they don't want to do, And oh wait, do I always have to last but not least, this is very scary. One thing about social media. you are exposed to the public. Sounds scary, right? But don't worry, at the end of the day, always remember that you can always only share what you want people to see. And when I say exposed, I meant opening to a world of comments, DMs, or whatnot. And you will find that people will feel the need to voice out if they don't like something about you. I've had my fair share of these comments and also these attacks, whether it's my just my normal social media content or my songs, my music videos. And honestly, being in the industry for more than 10 years, I think I've developed a very thick skin. So it doesn't faze me anymore. Until today, some comments may affect me, but it I don't dwell on it as much anymore. So that's good, and that takes practice. So all I'm saying is that you may or may not be criticized for what you put up. And it could be a drawing that you worked so hard on. It could be a dance or a song cover that you've worked hours and hours on, and or any sort of content lah. And maybe somebody would be like, hey, you can't sing, or hey, you can't dance. So things like that may happen. So when it is out, when your work, your talent, and when you put yourself out there, you're so-called exposed. Okay, but before you guys give up on social media and say, Charis say, social media is bad, in after 7 talks. No, okay, please don't do that. But the flip side is, in the sea of DMs or comments, there might be hidden opportunities for you. And you'll never know, you might be connected with another singer who's interested to collaborate. So you guys get to work on a collaboration and produce like an amazing song. Or maybe if you're a graphic designer and someone saw your work that you put up on your Instagram or your Facebook, and you get scouted for a big project. So in a way, your social media page can be a platform where you show your skills and your talents. And from there, you can actually get opportunities. You never know what can happen. So don't be scared. You're exposed, but always remember, you share what you want people to see. And like I said, it's not all bad. There's always a flip side. Like the post said, social media is a double-edged sword. It's a great tool, but as long as we know how to use it, then it could definitely benefit us. And social media is not everything. Some businesses still thrive without it. Individuals without any digital footprint can still make a living and be successful. So zero following doesn't mean zero significance. And for me, what matters is who you are in real life, offline. Are you a kind person in real life? Are you an honest person? Are you genuinely happy? I think those things are more important. There are so many times where I get pretty consumed with social media, as it is part and parcel of my job, but I will always have to take a step back and get out of it. And like I said, it's a great tool to connect with people, a great tool for you to put yourself out there and show people your skills and your talents. But just like any tools or platforms out there, it must be used wisely. But for me, if it weren't for social media, I wouldn't even be here talking about it and have the so-called credibility to share it with you guys. So always remember, it's a great platform, but use it wisely. But it is not a tool that you use to validate your self-worth and also who you are. And remember, there's definitely more to life than likes.